You hear about that October 4th, EBS, 2:20 p.m.? Have you heard about it?
Do tell.
You haven't heard about it? Okay, so October 4th,
Go.
yeah, October 4th at 2:20 p.m. There's going to be an EBS alert. It's going to be broadcasted nationally across the entire United States, but on everything, like your phones. Suppose that's what they've been telling people.
You're listening to the Bright Side with Brian Crew podcast.
Bright Side with Brian Crew. This is kind of a breakaway episode here. Not really part of the main structure. Couple reasons. Had a couple things that went on lately. We had, Baba Ganoush there was out due to injury for a while. And then no relation to that situation. I myself injured myself. Hilariously, I hurt myself swatting a fly. Yep, that's not a joke. I've been working out a lot, and I don't know, I guess maybe I didn't get a good enough stretch that day, and everything was real tense. The fly landed like on the back of my head, and I went to swat it like that. I pulled something in my neck, and I was just sitting there at my desk, and it was a really weird, thing that I was like, I can't turn my head. It hurts so much. Like I can barely like sit forward or sit back. Like I'm just kind of like in this one space, like trying to breathe out the pain. And then I had to like kind of walk around a little bit because I was like, oh man, this feels really bad. Something's really wrong. And then I iced the hell out of my neck, and after a while of getting the neck under control, the pain just started to kind of move its way down the spine. So I'm still in a considerable amount of pain. Of course, as the day job, I make wine, so we're in harvest. Harvest is just starting, so perfect time to be injured and be fucking useless to the crew. But listening to my body, that's the important thing here. But and the thing is that you're always going to feel guilty, especially if you're someone like me that you don't really like to hold yourself back or let anything else hold you back. But you got to listen to your body, you got to listen to your mentality. And if you're not okay, you can't push yourself too hard. Only took me this far in life to realize that. But anyway, so this episode's kind of a breakaway, and we're just going to kind of catch up since we've not really caught up with each other, and a little bit about. Let's get it started.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh shit.
So, how have you boys been?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Staying busy.
Yeah.
Lots of projects. Josh. Noosh.
Oh yeah. It's been I'll tell you what, it's been a wild ride. It's been something else these past couple months. When was the last time we were online?
Oh man.
I want to say like 2 months ago we chatted.
Yeah, it's been a few months.
Okay, so it's been a few months. Yeah, there's been, a lot of shit going on. But personally, doing okay. Doing better. Doing better every day. Every day is a walk. No one wants to stay running forever, but still here. So, but staying positive.
How about you, B-Rap?
Oh, super duper, you know. It's been a lot of fun. Everything's been great. Super awesome. But no, not at all. No, it's been a rough time for sure. Definitely had a lot of lows lately. I know Noosh is coming off his injury. I'm kind of coming off of an injury myself. So yeah. It's funny what pain does to you. It's like you get real fucking hopeless real fucking fast. But
Mhm.
yeah. Hey.
But it's also it can give you strength,
Yeah, in some ways. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely was not what I needed in that moment for sure. Sure the same for you, Noosh.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
tell me about it.
But how about you, Cricket? You doing well?
Yeah, no, I mean, no physical pain.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I mean, yeah, just like Josh said, it's just been a wild year. So I feel like it's going to get even more crazier, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll just
Yeah.
believe for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's start off with a little recap here. So Noosh, anything you want to share? Your feelings? Any thoughts that have been echoing in the old noggin?
Oh, you coming in good?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. It's like over the past couple weeks, months, I've been really wanting to get out. Just just reconnect. With nature, the woods. Just go out there and just enjoy some. Some peace, some quiet, some freedom. Away from technology, people. You know, traffic, chaos, all that stuff. And yeah, just lately it's been it's been on the mind a lot. So it's one thing that I've been thinking about often is the different things that can come from that. I mean, it all depends on what you do out there, but um that, and I've noticed that there's been fewer and fewer chemtrails at night. I've noticed that, like the night sky's been pretty clearer, more clearer these past couple weeks, which has been interesting. The other interesting thing is we had this big lightning storm, this big thunderstorm come through week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I've never seen a storm like this ever in my life, where it was like a strobe light, lightning every millisecond. It was like there was not one moment the sky wasn't lit up in complete, just boom, 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 just lightning, 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 lightning. It was just crazy, And then we had the wind and all that stuff. It was. I've never,
Yeah, I feel it.
I've never seen a storm like that. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah, that
It's
was on our
crazy.
way to it was on our way to Florida. We filmed it. Yeah, it was just like a minute and a half, whatever, but it was just constant, just pow 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 pow. It was like a strobe light. It was wild.
So, you know, here's an observation on my end. You all right? Here's an observation
Yeah, I
on my
was just testing the mic.
yeah. But observation on my end. Tell me if it's the same. We're not in the same state. For those that don't know, but in your state, was it? Did you have a lack of thunderstorms for like several years? Because
Mm,
here we were lacking for several years up until 2 years ago. And then it progressively went from like, oh, here's a couple thunderstorms. Wow, we haven't had these in a couple of years. And then it turned into like, oh, there's quite a few thunderstorms. To this year, it's like every week there's like 2 massive thunderstorms. And it's like, what the? It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Weather's, yeah.
I like it too, but my question's like, how do you go from this gap of several years where you're like, oh, yeah, really hasn't been a thunderstorm, that's too bad, to like, well, just hang in there, it's coming. Like that's, I don't know, interesting shift, or who knows, maybe
Yeah.
someone's controlling that, who knows, but
Well, it definitely feels like something's going on. You know, it just, it's weird. There's a lot of weird things happening,
Yeah.
weather-wise, or
Weather
know,
modification.
yeah. There's just a lot of weird stuff. Like that Hurricane Hillary off the West Coast.
yeah,
When's the last time they got a hurricane?
yeah. It was the grape growers that I know in California said first time in 84 years that they were hunkering down for you know storm like that, and I was like, oh, that's strange, don't you think? But
You know, another strange thing is they came out, and they said that they have 6, 7, 8, I don't know. They have a number of non-humanoid extraterrestrial bodies, and not one eyebrow was raised, not one side thought, not even a news blip in the morning. It's just okay. They just came out and admitted that they have non-earth like bodies, and everyone's just still going to Chipotle, ordering a burrito, getting a Slurpee. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't prove anything, sure, by saying it, but the burden of proof is now on them, but still, it's like, it's like we're that close. It's just like it's right there. Somebody just has to say, yep, and then here we are, so close.
but what I find interesting, well, what I find interesting though is that they were like, oh yeah, this is aliens are real. We found biological evidence of them. We have bodies, blah blah blah, and they're sitting there swearing under oath, and they're just like, so you're telling me that you have bodies of extraterrestrials? And they're like, yes, we've recovered them. But social media now is what everyone looks to for news. So it became a reel. So you're seeing it on all the social media, but it's going to come down to the algorithm of what you look at anyway. So the people who don't give a shit about it are probably never going to see it. But then the people who do give a shit about it, all of them were posting underneath going like, give me the Epstein list, give me the Epstein list. And I'm like, this is the problem, is that even if they're like, hey, here's an alien body, people are just going to go, yeah, it's a diversion, a distraction. Tell me the thing that I want to know. And it's like, God damn it, I've been waiting all of my life for them to finally admit that aliens are real. Then they go, oh, aliens are real. And everyone's like, bah, who gives a shit? And they just go on to whatever their agenda is that they're looking to prove. And it's like, all right. Well, so there's no amount of disclosure, I think, that it's really even going to do anything for anybody, because no one cares enough. Everyone just always has something to push. I don't know.
Well, so maybe that could be very, it could be it. But what if, I feel like over the years we've been so desensitized to the idea that aliens are here or among us, or they're out there, or, through movies and shows and video games. I mean, what if people are just tired of the hype, in the sense that, yeah, we already know, just come out with it already, let's get a move on. Maybe people are just tired of the same old, not everybody, obviously, maybe there's some out there that feel that way, but I don't know.
Oh,
I
no,
just
we're tired.
at this point, I just don't care anymore. Like if they're there, if they're out there, that's fantastic. That's great. You know, sure, I'd like to see evidence, like real evidence, but it's like, um, I'll believe anything at this point. It's like so much crazy stuff going on. It's like, I just don't care. I'll believe it, you know. They're like the earth is being flat now. You know, it's like I've heard so many different theories on the earth being flat. And it's like some of it sounds pretty interesting, you know, but maybe the earth is bigger than what they say it is. You know, I
All
can
right.
believe that.
Maybe it's a rhombus, we just don't know.
Right. Maybe. So you know, I don't know.
I
It's just strange.
the thing is, like, I get what you're saying, and like, yeah, absolutely. It's sure we're sick of the same old thing being told to us over and over. We already expect things, but it's like, look, to say that aliens are real, but to still not tell us who killed Kennedy is like, So if it's like if you're,
Absolutely.
huh?
Absolutely. You're right. Yeah.
So to
Well, the
me,
CIA killed Kennedy. That was released. They took a part in it, at least.
but like, it's just to me that if you're gonna go as far as saying something that they've been denying forever, the existence of aliens, the possibility of alien life, all these things have been denied forever when they had clear
Yeah.
evidence of things. I mean, come on, you'd be in like high school and they're like, oh, there's no such thing as aliens because there's no water in space, and you're like, what? Like, well, what if aliens don't require water? Well, all biological beings require water. Yes, of our makeup, but what if they're not like us? Like,
There's so
why?
much water in space.
Well,
It's just
yeah,
ice.
that's what I mean. But now they're like, oh, well, that planet has water, but it's in the form of ice. Well, that planet has water, but it's underneath the core. It's like, so we're just constantly being lied to. We're constantly being updated with these different details. But I think the biggest mistake is to discount it all. And I think that's probably why they are comfortable telling us at this point, because they're like, well, they're not going to care. They're going to keep scrolling through social media, looking, trying to prove the things they want to prove or look at the tits they want to look at or whatever. They're not going to focus in on this detail and start thinking about existence. But to me, why I care about things like this is because I do ponder existence on a daily basis. And I think that how we live is pretty ridiculous. And I don't think we're meant to live this way. And I think that if we go on just letting the system rule us, we're always going to be slaves to the system. And we're never going to reach our potential. We're never going to reach our happiness, that we are, that's right here, that's within us. It's just like, we need to like find out some of the truths, because some of the truths may make us go, it's not worth getting up and going to work tomorrow, and that's,
Well, those
know.
are some great points. I mean, the system, the way it's built, it's it's not designed to keep you healthy, keep you on your feet. It's churned. It's you wake up, you go to work, you do the job, you come home, you do the things that you don't do at work. Whether it's family shit or after work activities or stuff, but everything is a measure of it's like everything is based off what you're limited by, what the job provides for you. So if you're only making 45K a year, you're limited by that salary. You can't do anything above and beyond that. Sure, you can go out there and get loans and stuff like that, but why assume all that risk? Why take on all that risk? But you just keep going, through life, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and then your 50s. By the time you get to your 60s, it's, who, you know, you should be enjoying the later parts of your life, but most people find themselves still stuck behind a cash register somewhere trying to make ends meet, because we got, $5, $6 a gallon, $9 a gallon. In some places, you got, $4 a gallon of milk. It's insane. We give billions and billions of dollars away to other countries that, we got problems here.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
people, the American dream. Fuck. In what decade did it exist? Not in mine, not in ours.
Right.
More like
1950.
the
Yeah.
American myth, you know. But yeah, it's just a system designed to suck you in and keep you sucked in, and it's depressing because it's two tiered. There's what's available for you, and then if you have money, there's what's available for them, and scapegoats, escape paths, outlets. For us, it's not that easy, but it's definitely you know it's definitely a kick in the dick, but there are things that we do enjoy. The extracurricular activities are definitely enjoyable, but not everything is shit. Your outlook and your attitude has a lot to do with it, and that's important. Even though you're part of the churn, doesn't mean you have to have and assume the attitude of the churn. Each day is as you make it. So you wake up and you say you're going to have a shit day, you're going to have a shit day. That's just how it works. But um you know you confess your reality, so to speak. So it's important, even though all that stuff is going on, how do we stay positive? How do we stay,
Above it.
focused on, on the lighter side of life, even though there's a lot of negative out there. Certainly there's a lot of negative out there. It's a big bag of just steaming shit just hanging out there.
Mhm.
Positivity. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yeah. Staying positive. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's like the bright side of the COVID bullshit for me was, the minute they were like, it's all shut down, go home. I was like, I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous, but all right, I'll go home. And I went home, and for the week and a half that I didn't have to go to work until they just declared that I was an essential worker, I was like, this is fantastic. I'd wake up, get good sleep, wake up, do yoga, work out. And I was like, oh my God, I have the whole rest of the day to do whatever I want. Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome, just imagine, just have your own house out there in the woods, wake up, just do your own thing, secure your own life,
Yeah.
you know. Man, that'd be amazing.
Imagine like there's no need to like get up and go to work. So, you guys are in the cabin behind me, and I just text and I'm like, you guys want to have coffee together? I'm just like, yeah, let's go out on the veranda and stare and look at nature as we sip our coffee together. Like, wow, wow.
That
The
sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then you're like, man, let's beat off watching that deer like a flower, man.
Yeah.
Nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God.
there's, yeah. What were you gonna say there, Cricket?
Oh, you pretty much nailed it.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of, yeah, Josh, pretty on point there. So,
What's up? What did Noosh say?
no, he was on point with everything he was saying. I agree with it. So, yeah, just gotta stay positive every day. I don't know. For me, I like to just work on many art projects. So, ever since I quit previous work, just been there for so long, doing the same routine day in, day out. Just got bored, and now I have the ability to wake up every day, uh, smile, uh, see my wife smile. That makes my day. And then and then just do artwork. It's
Right.
the greatest feeling ever.
There's always some motherfucker out there just waiting to, just pick your nipples, and just poke at them until you're ready to, just toss a fucking car at them. But you know,
So, like,
that's the real pursuit, is getting through
I
the
like
day
it.
without actually, committing the crime.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I like a little nipple play, but in the cases of someone trying to just tune in Tokyo real hard, it's like no, don't do that.
No.
Yeah, then I get frustrated.
Right.
But so I got to tell you about
Yeah.
this weird thing I saw in the sky. What day did I text you? Was it Monday? I think it was. No,
You text me?
Tuesday. I think I texted Noosh about it. I saw something weird in the sky. So Tuesday, as I was driving back from Glenside up, into the mountains again, I saw this, like, if my windshield's here and I'm looking out, here's the highway. But I just gotten onto like the highway that's heading towards the mountain, so it's like real dark and you can see everything. And then in the little residential spot on my right hand side, I saw like a white light, like just go, like it just kind of appeared out of nowhere and went in a straight line up, and then just was gone.
Really?
Yeah, and it looked like it was so perfectly straight. And you all right?
Yeah, sorry.
It was so perfectly straight in its trajectory that it was so weird. It wasn't like it moved around or something like that. Like it was just like a straight line. And
It just poof, disappeared?
yeah, but it like it's the best way I can think to describe it is like imagine like a shooting star, but going the opposite way and going in a perfect straight line. And it was so weird.
Wow.
And I
That is wild.
Yeah, and I just kept staring, and I'm trying not to go off the road, but I'm just like what the hell could that have been? And I'm like, there's nothing there, And
Well, I mean, you guys got the cover of the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. So
yeah, but this was where the mountains were on this side, and over here was like looking towards the valley.
Okay.
Where I saw it. So like there was nothing really behind it. And the sky wasn't clear enough to like really see stars. So it was lower for sure. But
when you said it poofed, like what do you mean? Like it just disappeared?
yeah,
Or
like it was like if we're look at on the screen, it was like, it appears and goes straight up and then it was just gone. Like
how big was it? I mean, like the streak.
it's really hard to tell because I can't figure out like how far away it would have been necessarily.
Okay.
So I don't know, but like, I had another like 20 minutes to my drive, and I just kept thinking like, could it have been some sort of light? Could it have been and I'm just trying to think of every damn thing to explain it away, but I came up with nothing. It was just, it was just.
Was it raining that night?
It had rained, but it wasn't raining at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah. If I had to guess, so like, depending on how far it wasn't high enough to be in the stars unless it was something so far away and so luminous that it could project as if it was a half a mile away, because it looked like it would have been like a half a mile away. But there was just no way to gauge like how big it was or what it was per se, because it was just like a line of light. So yeah.
Wow.
Super weird. And I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know.
I wish we'd see something like that,
Well, I wish there was more to it though, that I could go and then I saw the spacecraft, or
yeah.
but there's just nothing. It's just a streak of light. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny because that's kind of like most people's accounts, they just see like a blip or like a zip in the sky or something like that. But It's interesting, you know, all these accounts, all these things that people see, you know, and then they just poof, gone, you know.
Yeah.
It's just wild to think, maybe, what if the facade of the globe we live in now. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a dry throat.
Yeah, dry throat.
Yeah, guy. You see anything going on here? Jeez, I'm talking. Um, but you know, this whole facade of, you know, through time, the earth, you know, we know what we know based on what we're told, but the truth being far more, I wouldn't say sinister, but jeez. But let's say, you know, more devious, but what if the earth does inhabit, you know, more continents than what, you know, they say they've displayed, because, you know, NASA has shown a different picture of the earth throughout the decades, you know. So I'm just curious what the real size and nature of the earth is, you know. Does that account for, you know, that gravity that I forgot what they called it, but you know, I think it's Jupiter, or maybe it's Saturn is kind of off center, or maybe it's the sun's off center. I can't remember what, but the gravity doesn't make sense. The push pull, so maybe that's the difference. I don't know. I'm just free balling here. I'm not a, one of those star guys, but it, you know, it kind of makes sense because when have we been shown a real unedited, unscathed, untouched photo of the earth? When?
Right.
You know, you
Yeah.
can't go to Google Earth, you know.
Can't trust it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being at a MUFON conference, and the one guy was, you know, from a former NASA employee, and he pulled out all these photos and said, you know, here's what they showed you the moon looks like. It's like, here's what they showed you the moon looks like. Here's what it really looks like. Here's what they show you Mars looks like. Here's what it really looks like. And like, my thing was, I mean, look, I know everyone in that room there is like, you know, on the edge of their seat, like, oh, we're uncovering something huge. But I'm there kind of skeptical, going, well, what's the point? Like, if they showed us an edited version of the moon, what's the point? An edited version of Mars, what's the point? Like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, well, you know, we haven't seen. And it's like, yeah, but for what purpose? And it's, you know,
Right.
I'm always wondering, like, what's the damn purpose? What's the point of the lie? You know, it's like, come back full circle. It's like, all right, who killed Kennedy? And it's like, well, it's classified, but CIA had something to do with it. Okay, who and why? Why continue to hide when you could just be like, you know what, it was so and so for this fucking reason, it had to be done. Deal with it. Or hey,
Right.
yeah, we're lying. The Earth is much bigger, but what are you gonna do about it? Deal with it. Like, that's what always blows my mind. It's just like any one of these deceptions. It's like, what's the freaking point? Stop lying.
Right.
Right.
It's like, it's not going to change anything for me knowing it. It's just,
No.
let's say they say, oh, you know, the earth, well, it looks like a giant waffle. Okay, that's great. You know, it's not going to affect, my activities for the rest of the night.
No.
You know, I've lived on this waffle my whole life. You
I
know,
know.
what's it going to change?
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. So,
Except you'll be able to speak from it in a more educated way. That's all. That's it. You know. That's what always drives me nuts is it's all the lies, and it's like, if you just told the truth, there's still nothing we could do about it. But
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand the lies. Why?
and it's like, well,
Why lie? Just tell us.
people aren't civilization isn't ready for that because they'd freak out. Well,
Says who?
Well, it's like I'm like they'd only freak out because you've kept them dumb. And then you've lifted the curtain. Like that's the only reason people would freak out. If our grandparents were like aliens are real, we would grow up going, of course, yeah, that's normal. My grandpa told me, my dad told me, of course they're real. But no. But yeah. That's
I mean, just like giants. I see,
giants.
past couple years, I've been seeing more and more evidence of giants. In the past, you can find their like burial mounds, like evidence of giants being found in old newspapers, like in the early 1900s, late 1800s, or in the 1800s. And then how the Smithsonian like destroyed or supposedly destroyed all the evidence for whatever reason they had, but it seems like it's been popping up a lot lately. I've been seeing that a lot. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, it's again, I always have a lot of beef with, our concept of evolution overall. I theorize sometimes. I think dinosaur and man were existing at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of what. Yeah,
I think there's over the years been more and more evidence, showing, especially like if the Egyptians are making artwork, showing man and dinosaur, and it's just like why? What, like they didn't do it for funsies, like
right?
But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they were giants. I remember seeing a documentary that said that mountains were actually originally giant trees, like the stump of giant trees. And I was like,
that sounds fantastic.
I was like, well, that's an interesting theory. But
Devil's Plateau and was that South Dakota? It looks like a tree stump.
They said it, Earth was originally, the theory was that Earth was originally all like humongous, like 100-mile trees. And I'm like, huh, that'd be interesting.
What if?
What if?
Just what if?
What if?
All right, Shatner, go ahead.
What if the Earth really is bigger than what it is? And the part of the Earth we reside is the very center. And say, I'm not saying it's flat. I just think maybe it's bigger than what we're being led to believe. So if we say this is just what if, okay, what if like we were enslaved in a sense or put on these continents in order to, I don't know, have society grow in a certain way, or it was a test, or whatever, but maybe those that were in higher power at the time, maybe they decided, well, we can't have them seeing giant trees because then their imagination would just run wild, or like I don't know. That seems kind of dumb, but maybe they were all chopped down on purpose, so we wouldn't ask questions. They do look like some of the mountains do look like tree stumps. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm stumped for sure.
Yeah,
totally. There's a lot out there. And there's a lot that hasn't been seen. Hasn't
Well, I
been
want to know what's
discovered, so
I want to know what's in Antarctica.
don't we all?
Do you
Ice.
see that? What was that guy's name? I think Sean Ryan. You see that interview? I think I sent it to you. But that guy that he was a whistleblower, came out of Antarctica. He was like I think a fire chief, or I didn't watch the interview, so
Well
I can't
done.
really.
Well done.
I know,
Way to be informed for the podcast. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot
Way to
about it.
go.
I sent you that thing that I
Way to
never
go.
watched. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it, and I heard about it in like passing. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is what you were talking about, you know. So, but I saw a couple previews of it, of them talking, and the guy was basically stating that they have some sort of weapon. They're able to use, um, they're able to communicate light years away, like in an instant. You know, like light travel, like light communication, or something like that.
So the device that they have there is actually meant to track neutrinos.
Yes,
And
yes, that's
yeah,
right. Okay, we had this discussion. Yep. Mhm.
yeah. And that is very interesting to me. Being someone who loves particle physics, but like it's still, I don't know, when it comes to Antarctical, well,
Antarctical.
that's what
It's
you
like
call,
Disneyland.
that's what you call a blog post about Antarctica and an article.
An article.
Oh, you better coin that. That's awesome.
Trademarked. What's today's date? Trademark it. September 21st, 2023, 21:25 in the eve. There's nothing you can do about it. It's mine. I'll sue you.
Hashtag an article.
But yeah, it's like I do know people that have been there, so it's just like there's a lot of conspiracy theory wrapped around Antarctica, and I would love to go and explore. But I do find it a little bit more fascinating away from the conspiracy concept that they're there tracking like neutrinos and analyzing that. Like that's pretty interesting to me, and I would love to see that facility. If you want to extend an invite our way, would love to come see it. Love to come see it.
Great.
Yeah, we'll stay the whole 6 months.
Yep.
Dispel some of the rumors and conspiracies, clear the air, give
Should
you a
we'll
voice.
stay 18 months.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to handle ourselves.
Why?
Hey,
Why not?
IT. There's always IT things to do in
Yeah.
in an ice cube. So
I mean, I can paint a bunch of snow.
So just
There
a
you go.
canvas? Just leave a canvas? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
It's done. No,
I guess
mean,
I could do graphic design.
there you go.
Hmm.
But no, so yeah, I'm very curious about some of the actual official research they're doing in Antarctica for sure. The conspiracy theories I have less opinions on, just because there's so many theories. I don't know where to start, where any truth is actually there, but I do know that it's truth that there are these detectors. So yeah,
Well,
tell us more
I
about the
wanna-
research. Yeah.
I want to know what structures they found in Antarctica. You know,
Yeah.
I want to know if there's any buildings. I want to know, are there large caverns? I know there's under like a lake 2 miles down, but there's also land on Antarctica. There's mountains, so I would have to assume that at some point during the billion years Earth has been around, somebody went to Antarctica, and did something there,
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to just maybe somebody's found something, That'd be cool. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah. Very true.
Don't really, I mean, it's kind of like even if I did see it, nobody would believe me, unless I had some sort of like legitimate documentary crew,
that right there, there needs to be a crew, a documentary crew, go down to the Antarctic,
Yeah.
Go
Document
down,
everything.
cruise against the wall, get all the video shots, and then go around it if it is the way it's depicted on the map, and really document the shit out of it.
Yep.
May not be able to get on there, but drones can,
Mhm.
so where there's a will, there's a way, so that would be
That's-
something else. I'd
that's
get on a
true.
boat for that,
Oh yeah.
but it'd have to still be a big boat. It's an icebreaker.
Mhm.
This ain't no fucking dinghy,
Nope. Nope.
Quit playing with your dinghy.
get on there with a big yacht. Should be big enough to, withstand any megalodons that have been found out there this yacht. So
No. I'd like to pet a megalodon.
you see that that whale?
The whale tail?
No, there was this whale, this big whale, and I think it was on some nature channel or maybe it was Discovery.
Didn't you send it to me on Instagram?
I might have,
A
but
dinosaur. It was like it almost looked like a dinosaur.
well, there's that, but
What-
this is an actual whale. It's a huge, one of the biggest whales out there,
Oh, like a
and
sperm whale?
it had this scar on it, and they estimate that the squid that attacked it or it attacked him had to have been 50, 60 feet.
Kraken?
No thanks. I'm sorry, but I'm keeping my ass in the boat. That
You don't
You know,
want
if it's
you
on
don't
the
want a
pond-
giant hug?
no, fuck that. I don't want to be squeezed to death and then turned into liquid shit. No way. No way. That's like those giant pythons they're finding down South America. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, no.
Are you serious?
I hate snakes.
You could be
but-
walking in the woods, and then all of a sudden, you're just sitting there walking, listening to Alanis, and then all of a sudden you get attacked by a 30-foot fucking python, just squeezes you half to death.
You ought to know.
Why you should never walk with your hands in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh, man with hand in pocket feel cocky all day. Yeah. It's true.
But yeah, I mean, look at all the shit that they're finding. I mean, that field with those giant salt balls or whatever they are, those magnesium balls, sulfur balls or whatever. I mean, man, I tell you what.
Isn't that around the area in accordance to the Bible?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just light it. You
Oh, the
don't even
ball-
have to do anything.
The balls of
Yeah.
Jesus?
No, go ahead and explain that, Josh.
Danny, you bastard.
I forgot the name of it.
I can't give you the most accurate reaccountment of it, but
I'm
I
terrible.
believe it was it got so bad between two brothers.
You mean Cain and
or something
Abel?
like that. And it led to anyways, long story short, humanity went to shit.
Went tits
and
up.
Went tits up, went complete evil, and there was a storm, and it rained down fire, which was hail, huge hail, and destroyed the city of Babel, all that stuff. Like I said, real choppy reaccountment, not the most accurate. So, but the gist, sum, and substance is there.
Well,
They
you have a-
found these things,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
but they've also found, where Moses is part of the Red Sea and all that. They also found years ago, and I think this is a recent finding too, they're finding, you know, Roman or Egyptian horse carts down there and all types of shit that they used to. All that
Chariots?
regalia they put on those buggies, you know, they're finding it down there. So evidence of it. So I'm telling you,
Plus,
man, it's crazy.
plus the boat on top of Mount Ariat.
Right.
It's almost the details in the boat and everything are identical to Noah's Ark.
Right. So there's a lot of things, you know. So
And
it's
how did a boat like that get stuck in the mountains?
Because sea level was higher.
Oh, okay. Well,
well, the sea level was higher, but that was the floods. That was Noah's Ark, you know, it
Right.
was the flood. So
well,
that's
yeah.
where it
I mean, yeah.
that's where the boat stopped because that's where rested. It made land right there, you know.
Totally.
And sea level will rise again.
Yes.
It will.
That's why you gotta live in the mountains.
Correct. Yeah.
The Moutons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Anything else weird, Josh? You know what? Last night we had
Would you say his correct fucking name? Jesus.
Noosh?
It's like the fifth fucking time you've said it. Yeah.
Oh, Noosh?
There you go.
Am I not supposed to say Noosh?
You're supposed to say Noosh. That's the point.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're making
Whatever,
me have to go
you know.
back and edit things.
Yeah, blurp it out.
Yeah.
You know.
Blurp, 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 blurp. Last night we had the Air National Guard, the 180th Ohio Air National Guard fly over our house. It was just strange, you know, because we have an airport next to our house.
Were they still in the plane, or was the plane just going by itself and they were trying to find it?
Was it on autopilot? You know. Yeah. No
Well,
canopy, just cruising.
Oh, fucking
Well,
F-35. Yeah.
it was a military procedure where they were escorting like two planes. One was escorting the other. It was like a military procedure. Like for example, if a commercial jet came in and it needed to be escorted by a military jet or something like that. But it flew, I don't know, normal planes go by our house, you know, throughout the day, and they don't sound as loud as it did last night. That sounded like we had a rocket going off and it was shaking the house. I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, so we go outside and it's just two jets just flying low. Like I don't know, I'd say a couple 100 feet. Um it was crazy. But I guess that military activity's been ramping up. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting. You hear about that October 4th EBS 2:20 p.m. Have you heard about it?
Do tell.
You haven't heard about it?
Mm.
Okay, so October
It's on
4th,
you now. Go.
yeah, October 4th at 2:20 p.m. There's going to be an EBS alert that's going to be broadcasted nationally across the entire United States on everything, like your phones.
Yep.
Suppose that's what they've been telling people.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah, allegedly.
allegedly, so what? Well, no, the EBS was an actual thing. They announced it. And they're going to do it. But what's some people are saying is that there's going to be a frequency being broadcasted between the time the 2:20 to 2:50 or however long the broadcast is.
Yeah.
And that frequency is going to mess with all those that were that got the COVID vaccine because it has
Well, no, they said
a
it was
lot
everybody. Is what they said.
everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but here's the
Well, we're
problem.
all
But here's the problem. Like every one of these, watch out, this is going to happen moments, it said. But if it doesn't happen then, because I saw this too. But if it doesn't happen then, it'll happen on this other date.
October
Unless,
11th.
yeah, unless they decide to change it. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. That's like me being
Yeah.
like, all right, guys, listen up.
Just
Listen
give me
up.
a firm date.
No, listen up. The world is going to end tomorrow. Unless unless it doesn't, in which case it's going to end next week. In which case, if it doesn't, well, it's just going to end another time, and I'll say I told you so. It's like, god damn it! Like,
Yeah, that's how it works. Just a circle, you know.
any jackass can make a video now going, "This is going to happen, and here's how what's going to happen to you, and this is why you got to be afraid." But also, it may not happen on that time that I just told you. But I'm somebody who you should listen to. Okay.
It's surprising how many people latch on and just feed off a, you know, just suck the tit of a main line and just feed in this side story, you know.
I think
All of
people
a
are
sudden, you know,
grasping.
now we got
What
Huh?
you say? What'd you say, Cricket? You gotta speak when someone else is not speaking.
Sorry.
What'd you
I
say?
just think people are grasping for
Reviews?
I don't know, for something exciting to happen, you know.
Oh, sure, sure.
No, I don't.
Just
But
I don't
tired
think.
of-
we need to head in.
I don't think that's what it is.
Like, oh, well, now the Avengers are going to show up. We got this big fucking satellite out there by Jupiter. It's going to come in. It's the Jewish spaceship. Whatever they call that. It's like, come on, man.
Listen,
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
if the Avengers showed up, there's one thing that I guarantee I would do. I would go and I would slug Captain America. I would just fire out and hit him
Why is that?
because he's a self-righteous prick. Yeah, unpopular. Feel free to comment below and tell me how much you hate me. But Captain America was a dipshit. An absolute dipshit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
You mean the actor or the
No.
character?
No, the actor didn't do anything. Like, no, the character was just a big steaming hunk of shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah. And I remember when Civil War came out and people were like, Team Captain America. And I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? It's Team Iron Man. Like, what is Captain America working towards? Oh, nothing. Just protecting his buddy who murdered Tony's parents. Cool. What a Boy Scout. But it's like Tony was trying to do the right thing for the world, and Captain America was just like, I know better than everybody at all times.
Mm.
Do you? Why don't you go slap on a new pair of tights? Jesus.
Well, he's Captain America. He's got to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am the strongest Avenger. So.
What were you gonna say before though about grasping grasping for excitement or whatever? You said I don't think so.
Oh no, I just think people are grasping for views. I think people are so self-absorbed and so, delusional that all they care about is getting those views on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so I think but here's the worst part about that though. It's think about how much of the BS covers the possible real shit. So like I watch all these time traveler things where like it's like a time traveler from 2050 came out and said an asteroid's going to hit on such and such day, and then come this day there's going to be the Third World War, and then this happens and that happens, and there's going to be a tsunami off the coast of the Pacific on this day. And me being me, I'm like writing down these dates like, well, let's see if any of this is true. But then the problem is there's so many fake accounts that are just making that shit up just to get views. But then if there is one real time traveler, you don't know which one is the real one. But then in addition to that, it could be that time traveler doesn't understand how time travel really works, and it's something in a different timeline, something in a parallel universe that occurs on November 1st or whatever. So, he may not be a liar, but it's not going to happen here. So it's just like, oh, there's just so many variables, so many. No.
Yeah, there are. There's many variables. I just, right now I'm at the. I'm just gonna sit back and just watch. Because you don't want to get caught in that stuff out there.
Yeah.
Heck no,
I mean,
but just got to
I don't
keep
know.
a humble eye out.
If you were really a time traveler, though, would you really want to tell people like what's coming, knowing that by doing that you fuck up the entire future?
Well, I think if people think of time travel as a simple thing and they think it's one straight line, they probably think they're going to fix the future.
Sure, yeah.
But I don't believe that's how it works. I don't believe it could possibly work that way. So, yeah, I'm going to grab a glass of water real quick. Be right back. All right.
Roger.
Yep.
Roger.
Daniel. Cricket.
Oh, hey, I forgot to tell you.
Oh yeah, do tell.
I won't have the car tomorrow. Jackie has to use it to go to work.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
So that presents a problem for tomorrow night.
Why? What's going on tomorrow night?
Bro night.
Oh yeah, that's right, bro night. Where are we going? Your house?
Well, Kyle's gonna have to pick you up.
All right.
I'll make a special dinner.
Ooh.
I'll smoke the meat. I'll smoke some meat. Yeah.
Yeah, smoke that meat. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that. Well, all right.
Indeed. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh, my thirst is quenched. I feel good.
The quenching.
Yep, it's all about quenching and clenching,
I'll tell you what, there was years ago. I was in traffic. I was on my way to a job interview many years ago. And man, bad choices were made that day. This was many years ago.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell for lunch. I'm sitting here at 4:30, and I'm in traffic, and man, I tell you what, that large Mountain Dew didn't do me any favors, and I could feel it. That first poo gurgle, feels like an intestinal fart.
Little fire brewing south of the border. Yeah.
Yeah, you just feel that. It's like mud in a pot boiling, So you just feel it and you're like, oh man, we're close. We are T minus 10 minutes at least, And I remember, you get those urges where it's like, man, it wants you to push, like you're giving birth. And
doing Lamaze.
yeah. And you're doing all you can to do to operate this fucking vehicle which is a stick shift and clench your buns without letting a piece of feces through the gate, And when you get to that job interview, underwear is clean, but you arrive with the world's largest sweat ring, I wore this blue shirt and man, I tell you what, it was pushing hard. It wanted out now. And
It won it out.
my body was telling me,
Uh,
look, this shit is coming out now. You know, not tomorrow, not in 30 minutes. We're pushing the door now, you know.
Kurt Ferguson
And
was kicking the door in.
I was clenching so hard that when I was walking, my buns were like seizing, you know. They'd be, it's like you can't clench, But I get there, I get to the lobby, and I asked the woman, and I was like, "Hey, ma'am, is there a place I can go to the restroom to, kind of clean up?" And and I go in there, and man, my shirt is just destroyed. Armpits are just decimated. But thankfully, there's no stink. I go sit down on the stall, man, and it's like, fuck, I let this thing rip. And after deep clenching like that for so long, you just don't feel right after a shit like that. You feel like, you know,
You got a fever.
right, you do. You get like the shit sweats.
Oh.
But I got it done in under 5 minutes. Made my interview on time. And I'm in there for 10 minutes waiting. And we get in there, and the guy, first thing he says is, "Man, you hot?" I was like, "Nah, dude. If we got time, I can walk you through this journey, this quest to get to this interview. The shit that I've had to go through to sit here for 10 minutes and wait for your ass to tell me if I'm hot."
You told him you told him you had to come visit the crime scene with you, and you took him into the bathroom where it just wouldn't go down.
It's funny. When I was laid up in the hospital back in March, they had me on Oxy, and I was, when I was there, I knew the story. I didn't want to take any painkillers because I didn't want to eat hospital food. I fucking hate hospital food. So my third day there, they're like, "Mr. Johnson, we're looking at the food docket here, and we see nil for, and it's true. For 2 days, I just consumed water, you know, and finally he's like, "Well, you're peeing okay, but you're going to have to poop. So you got to eat." And I was like, "Well, that explains why you're giving me stool softeners. And I said, "Whatever you're giving me, you need to triple that dose. You see this body, you know, one pill of whatever the fuck that is ain't going to soften what I got going on, especially if I start eating." So I start eating, and I'm on this regimen of painkillers, and man, I'm feeling it, day 5. I'm starting to feel the push, like, hey, we got 2 days of food in here. It's time to exfil immediately. So I tell the nurse, who wasn't really a nurse, who was like a tech, still nurse in my mind. So I tell him, "Hey, bro, I think I got a turd coming. I need help getting to the bathroom." So,
Yeah.
Hey, when you break your back, man, it's you're lucky to get up and walk after something like that. But tell you what, get up, and it's so painful because it's your lower back, and you got to figure out how to get down to sit down on this fucking toilet to go breach, you know. And so I grab onto these toilet handles, and I'm just easing my way down, because back, and I finally find an angle on the toilet seat that I'm willing to work with. So I began the psychological work that every man goes through when he knows he's got a big load coming out. You begin the psychological prep work, and that begins the the churning below, you know. And so I was in there for 5 minutes doing the psychological work. And then 30 seconds after that, you know, the initial push, the initial knock on the door occurred. And then that's when I knew, man, I am dealing with the kraken of turds. Because let me tell you, it not only felt like I had like a plug, you know, it felt like it was wrapped in sandpaper and glass, you know. So I'm commencing this push and I can feel it move through that cavity, whatever it's called, you know, before it exits out, before it comes out of your butthole, you know. And I'm sitting here, I'm just, oh my God, I got the sweats. You know, I am actually holding myself up. I have not one piece of buttocks on the toilet. You know, I am in complete, you know, yeah, every muscle is so tense right now. You know, I'm giving birth to a turd baby that I have yet to know the dimensions of. And it's probably the size of a fucking official size NFL football for all I know. So we're finally we get to the point and it goes breach. And oh my God, let me tell you. Oh, I could tell you there was like a whole ring of sweat that just broke, went down my beard, you know, fell onto my little nurse outfit there that they have you put on. And I gave it one more push and it shot out like a cork on, you know, some fresh champagne, just shot out, hit the bowl, you know, and it felt like it left a cavity, you know. Anyone out there who has taken a big shit knows exactly what I'm talking about. When that turd is too large for your body, it feels like it's still gaping you, you know. Its presence is still known even after it's blown out of your body. But I went down there to wipe and I was pleased to know that there wasn't a vast cavity, but I went to flush and the turd, this God, this abomination just stood horizontal over the turd nozzle, the turd hole, you know, just laid over it like a piece of iron, unmovable, you know, just unwavering in its commitment not to go down the hole.
Like
After
Thor's hammer.
6 flushes, it just stood there like, fuck you, I'm
It
iron
was like,
turd. That's right. And let me tell you something. It was like the size of a formidable Yeti.
first of all,
You know,
your doctors did call me after this occurred, and
yeah.
they said, you know, we want to welcome into the world, baby boy.
Let me
And
tell you
then
something.
they said, you know, we understand that he's your best friend, and you know that you'll be sharing custody. And so they, you know, they sent me a picture to frame. So there it is.
No, I wish that was my turd.
Is that real?
No, let
Is
me
that,
tell you,
is
mine
that
looked
really
like
yours?
They said it was 8 pounds 8 ounces, and
8 pounds, 8 ounces.
the beauty of it was that they said that it had a full head of hair.
Oh God. You know, the tech went in there. I told him. I was like, it was like 3 hours later, and he comes in. I was like, yo, homie, let me let you in on some new details here. Give you the deets. And I'm like, look, you go in that bathroom. There is a treasure chest of opportunity in there. You know, if you're looking for the clicks, you know, the subscriptions, you can make a great video off what I left in that bowl. And he goes in there and he looks at me. I was like, yeah, man, you're telling me I'm traumatized myself. But here's the thing. When I got home, a day and a half, 2 days later, maybe 3, the same thing happened again, but this was bigger. Brian, that struggle was, I didn't know if we were going to have to call 911. It was, it
was
got
that
intense.
I
that
imagine
big?
you then grabbed like a fish net and like got it out of the toilet and just hucked it into your yard right towards your neighbor's house. Just,
I'm sure people out there, they got their own turd stories, but there's nothing to be ashamed about. Everyone poops.
but no, in all seriousness though, that nurse did take that poop that you made in the hospital. He preserved it and he sold it on eBay for $1,000. And it does come in this collector's Yeti. No, I'm kidding.
Only
Yes.
$1,000.
Smells like Jello. Yeah.
Who would buy Josh's shit for $1,000?
I don't know
I
who would
mean,
buy
no,
I
Noosh's.
don't want to.
Who would
I
buy
don't want no.
Noosh's?
I don't want anyone to buy my poo. That's disgusting.
I know people would buy it, and dress it up and
Dress it up. That is disgusting. Make like an epoxy mold, and have like little turd families,
it becomes a statue in the living room. It's like
they're like 2 big bookends.
there's one kernel of corn that you can see visibly from the outside. Oh man. Yeah.
They could be door stops, bookends.
Oh no, it's a bread kneader.
A bread kneader.
This bread tastes
You
like
could
shit.
you could hollow it out and make it a what are those things in Australia? Those big tubes?
Oh, diggeradoo.
A didgeridoo.
Yeah, what I
Yeah,
say.
hollow it out,
Yeah.
make a didgeridoo.
And you got like a brown ring around your mouth every time.
I wonder where that. Well, that wouldn't sound like anything, I guess.
It would sound like probably, yeah. Very flatulent.
You can make like a big bread conch out of it,
A shit shell.
blow the bread horn of Gondor,
Yeah, make it a shit shell. People are like, "What do you hear?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Great
man.
idea.
Things you can do with poops. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I
Turd?
mean, yeah. What do you think, Turd?
What?
Inside joke.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
It's it's funny, even in high school.
That's a good one.
I remember walking in the stall, the bathroom, and there was this guy taking a shit in the urinal.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and I go in there and I really gotta go. And it's not like the choices are any much better. You got the urinals, which are pretty much good to go, but the stalls are always hit and miss. I mean, you got the odds are not in your favor. If there's 4 stalls there, 3 of them are just plugged solid of shit and toilet paper, and the other one's got so much piss and shit on the toilet seat, it's not even worth, So I just go ahead and take a piss next to him, in this urinal. And I was like, well, good luck to you. Walk on out. I was like, wow, I don't know. I didn't, I didn't report it to anyone, but I was just like, wow, it's quite the experience.
Yeah.
Did he say anything to you?
No, he just stared at me.
What? While he was taking a crap in a urinal, he was just staring at you?
The
He's like,
second I walked in there, eye contact was never broke between him and me. I broke eye contact with him, but he was locked on me. Yeah. Like that time at the gas station. Remember? That guy taking a leak next to you.
oh,
Yeah, the guy had a fucking boner.
Yeah.
what?
Guy was just staring at Danny, just eyeballing him, and he had a fucking boner, just sit there. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck?
Dude, we were when was that? That was when
We were driving down to see our aunt and uncle, I think.
yeah, but how old were
We
we?
lived at we still lived in Columbia Avenue. We still lived in PA.
Yeah. So I was a
That must have been very confusing for you, Cricket.
I didn't really I mean it just kind of when you walk in kind of like what the hell, because it's not something you ever see, and then it's kind of like, well, I guess in my young mind was like, well, I guess everybody, this is the bathroom, this is where it happens, this is like normal people do this, I guess.
This is where you get morning wood, right here in the bathroom.
I didn't really, I just didn't think anything of it. So
Okay.
it didn't bother me. I mean, it's not like I didn't know he was staring at me. That would have bothered me if I knew that.
Well, that's why I was
But
looking at you like, guy, don't piss there. Go to the other end. But you just looked at me and just started giggling like there was, and I'm like, guy, this ain't a fucking joke. But yeah, you just proceeded to do the business there, and he just stared at you, you know. And I'm like, guy, God, just hurry the fuck up.
I could imagine this. I could imagine something like a young Cricket being like, good afternoon. And the guy's just sitting with a heart on, like, and he's just like, bye now. That's a big hard penis.
Yeah, well, oh man, I tell you, truck stops.
Oh, man. Well, anything else we want to like go over, or do we want to wrap up?
Hmm.
Speaking of megalodons, what do you think? Do you think NASA's got a big cage out there in the Atlantic, up by Maine, where they're holding the 100-foot meg, or do you think that's all bullshit?
I think it's probably bullshit, because what would be the point?
Well, if you got a shark that big, I mean, this thing could, eat a Dodge Ram in one gulp.
Yeah, but a shark that big's not gonna come on land, unless it's Godzilla.
He didn't mean a literal Dodge Ram.
Well, is there a fish called a Dodge Ram?
Danny,
What are you
guy,
talking about?
no, its mouth, its bite, it's huge. I mean, in order to,
Oh,
you
I
have
see
to
what
have
you're
a
saying.
cargo ship, to
Yeah,
actually
sorry.
be safe. A fucking boat the size of Chicago, would be the only thing to be safe, especially if there's an octopus down there that size. Fuck.
Say, let him
Do you
fight it
think-
out.
Do you think there are actual mermaids or a civilization of intelligent beings that live in the water?
Oh, Okay, that's two.
I-
To me, that's two very different topics right there.
I-
Like, go ahead, Noosh.
You know, the ocean is vastly unexplored. You know, so it wouldn't, and even the cave systems in the war over the world, you know, there's cavities in the earth that are just huge, untouched, unscathed. You know, we don't know. There might be vast civilizations, you know, a whole ecosystem in some of these cavities, or even in the ocean, you know, these just whole ecosystems of underwater creatures. It, I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, I think I'd believe in the possibility of there being an alien civilization that breeds underwater, but I would not believe in mermaids being real. No, it's a little bit too.
Or like fish people.
Like Ariel.
I mean, no, that's what I mean. Like not like a mermaid that by definition, but I'd say a a being that's totally different with a different makeup that could be considered alien. Sure. I mean, you've seen the varieties of fish, angler fish and all that. Those things are freaky as hell. Like, can't imagine seeing one of those face to face. So yeah, I could see all kinds of weird stuff under there that could be from other planets, or could be intelligent civilizations that live under there that don't look like us, can't communicate and breathe water. But I don't believe in mermaids. No.
That's frightening, you know, just floating on top of an ocean that's 6 miles deep, you know. God.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm fascinated
know.
by the ocean. I would love to explore it. I would.
Oh yeah, if I was in a ship, a craft that I knew, you know, couldn't be squashed, sank, you know,
Swallowed,
swallowed,
Ah,
or otherwise, you know,
imploded.
imploded. Yeah, I'd be totally in on it. You know, um, I think they have technologies that allow them to see, you know, the various things in the ocean and on the ocean floor, like lidar and stuff, and that would be great too. You know, just to see, but um, you know, but understanding how the oceans flow in and out of the plates and all that stuff, man, that'd be amazing.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and Hollow Earth. That would be cool to see if that was real.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't you know?
Go
don't you
down
know?
there and it's just a bunch of you know, 8 foot tall people that smell like poop, have rotten teeth, you know.
Yeah, right. They're probably living the life down there.
Well, I hope, you know, but you know,
They're living
always
with
got to
dinosaurs.
expect the best and prepare for the worst. You know, you don't want to get down there and thinking you're going to find, you know, Miss Universe, and here, you know, you got rotten cottage cheese mouth, you know, with unibrow and, you know, calloused feet,
You must
and you
always be
gotta,
prepared. Always.
yeah, right. You gotta break bread with these people. You know, they probably eat, you know, mushed fungus byproduct, you know, because they got no teeth. You know, it's kind of like Medicine Man, you know, where they're all spitting into the booze, you know, the to the mix. Oh God, makes me want to
And
vomit.
he drink. Ugh, and he was drinking it.
Yeah, yeah. No thanks. Sorry,
Why
I'm
was
out.
why was he drinking it?
That's their drink. That's how they get drunk. That's their wine. That's how they make it.
Through
You know,
spit?
parts of it, yeah. Oh God. Ugh. Ugh. Makes me want to puke just thinking about it. But yeah, serious. It's crazy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We should think about doing a Danny will have to buy a mountain bike. I don't think he's got one.
Yeah.
We'll have to do like a mountain bike thing, you know, a couple days out, 5 days. Do some righteous trails. Nothing
Camping.
crazy.
What?
Do some camping,
Yeah, biking, camping.
fishing.
Biking and glamping, more like. That'd be fun.
I'm down for glamping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can rent me a
Maybe-
hotel room out there. Yeah.
Just get a cabin.
Yeah, there
cabin
we
in the
go.
woods.
Be nice to do the Sedona trails on a bike. I hear they got nice ones, you know. Get a nice cabin out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right, boys. Anything else?
No, I'm pretty much free and clear. How about you?
No. I'm good. I'm
No?
just gonna wrap up the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Muchos gracias.
Concerto.
Yeah, that's what I was working on.
Nice. Thanks for giving us your full attention.
I was. You're welcome.
Your contributions were amazing.
Noted.
You're welcome.
I found it abysmal. No. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording and we can chat. So yeah, so an unusual episode for us, just kind of chatting with no structure. And as always, you know, I want to thank anybody who takes the time to watch this, whether it has 1 view or it has 1 million. Thank you. No, not you. You, that one. Thank you. Cool. So real quick, want to mention something. Was it Mental Health Awareness Month? And I'm wearing a To Write Love in Her Arms shirt, which is one of the places that I've always liked to be a part of. I have considerable amount of gear from them, and I enjoy having, you know, people check them out. So 2016, I lost someone very important to me to suicide. And it's always a tough topic for me because I feel like the minute you say, you know, I lost somebody to suicide, it seems like you're fishing for some kind of consolation, someone to come over and be like, oh, you poor thing. It's not about me. It's not about the loss that I dealt with. That's something that I did struggle with for sure. But to me, it's about the fact that she was at a point in her mind that she was desperate enough to say, I can't go on any further. And that's the part I'm upset about. The funny thing about it, funny not in a haha way, but in a really screwed up way, is that I always considered it, and sometimes considered it a little bit more seriously than others. And it always seemed like an option in my head. I was like, you know what? One more thing happens, you know, to push me. That's it. And I do things like start giving my stuff away and distancing myself from people and trying to have like a good final moment with them. Like, yeah, you want to hang out tonight? Sure, hang out. And just kind of be like, had a really great time. It was great hanging out, and try to make that like the last time I saw them, so they had like a positive memory. It's almost a little bit sick how much I thought about it, you know, and plotted out my final moments with everybody. And she was always somebody who could sense that I was in that mindset and wouldn't let me sit in that mindset alone, and would, you know, talk, laugh, flirt, theorize, whatever it took to get my mind off of everything and focused on sticking around. So, you know, she was really my rock through everything. And so losing her selfishly was extremely devastating for me, because then I thought, well, this is the person that made sure I didn't leave. this world, and now she left this world. What do I do now? I don't have anyone, which is also, pretty crappy to say, because there's plenty of people, anyone who would know me would probably be watching this going, seriously, Brian, like you don't have anyone, me, and it's just like, yeah, I know, but I don't like to put all this on people. And she was just somebody that didn't have to, put it on. But anyway, I just want to put it out there that I know what it's like to have that going through your head. I know what it's like to really want to do that and think that there's just no other choice. And I know what it's like to lose somebody who made the decision to leave. And it's not the answer. It's not. And I say that now, strangely, after this injury, I went into a really dark place again. And it has been quite a while since I got into this kind of, messed up headspace. But I sat there once again thinking like, I kind of give up. I'm tired of fighting for everything so hard. I'm tired of being in pain. And now that I'm in immense pain, I am really, really done with it all. Pain does that to you, depression, physical pain. It pushes you a little bit further than you need to be pushed. And it's okay to acknowledge that, because it's not really what you want. You just kind of want a little break. And what's unfortunate to me is that I, at one point, put on Instagram a post, I think it was last year, for mental health awareness and suicide awareness. And I had some internet troll comment on there and hashtag disingenuous attention grab. And I'm not dumb. I know the people that do that. I do. It's no secret, people that troll like that. And like, you can go fuck yourself. Like, that's a real shitty move. You don't know what's going through my mind, and to have the balls to put a post like that up, like something to make fun of my post or try to call out my post. It's like, you're pretty sick. You should probably seek therapy. But I went into a whole shutdown mode when that happened, and I was just like disgusted by human beings. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm blocking this person, and I'm turning my shit private. And then I even like deactivated my Instagram and really contemplated getting back off of social media, because I was off Facebook for like 6+ years, best years ever. I really don't like social media, but anyway, just putting that out there. If you're one of those people that feels the need to leave a shitty comment for somebody that's struggling with something, don't be such a shithead. Like, come on, be better than that. Like, think what you want about the person, and if you really need to keep that negativity going, talk to the person closest to you about it and go, oh, this fucking guy, so disingenuous. But for God's sake, don't post shit online like a freaking lunatic sissy. So anyway, I just want to bring that up, because for those of you that are struggling, if you decide to share your feelings and somebody heckles you online, do not listen to them. Block them. If you have to turn off your social media for a while, or delete it entirely and just go be around like friends who actually give a shit, do that. Don't ever listen to something that an internet troll says. People that hide behind social media to say nasty things to people, you're kind of the scum of the earth, aren't you? Just saying. Anyway, so we all got enough problems. Maybe if we accept each other's issues and try to work through it together, maybe we don't need to be mean to each other. That's just a thought. So anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge mental health awareness, and just be totally upfront and honest and say that I struggle with it, and I lost people that struggle with it. And I don't know. I just think we just need to be more honest with each other about how we feel. Be more honest when someone does something or says something that hurts. Or replace your friends. If you have people you call friends that make you feel like crap, or coworkers, or whatever that make you feel like crap, get away from them. Just get away. Be around, even if it's just one person that elevates you, one person that listens or makes you laugh or makes everything feel a little bit easier for the hour you see them. Spend more time with them. Delete the bad, breathe it out and breathe in the good. And I say this knowing that I struggle with this too. And so this is me giving myself advice as well. So anyway, and I also want to say thank you to those, few people that I do occasionally tell how I'm feeling and they listen, or, they make me laugh or something. Thank you guys. And thank you anyone who's watching this and relating to it. I hope it helps. So once again, the bright side here is that we have this avenue that we can talk. Don't ever hesitate. Let me know your struggles and let me know your coping mechanisms, the way you're dealing with it. We could all use ideas to how to deal with things a little bit better. So, myself included. So anyway, Bright Side with Brian Crew, Noosh, Cricket. We all thank you for being a part of this, and we'll see you next time.